The Old Waterhouse. I grew up spending every summer at my grandmother's house, a quiet place that sat right on the edge of the Heath. From her backyard, a single broken fence separated us from miles of fields, trees, and old structures long forgotten by the town. But nothing out there was more feared or more talked about than the Old Waterhouse. It was a crumbling brick building with a black slate roof that looked ready to collapse at any second. Its iron doors had been torn off decades ago, and every window was shattered. Pipes curled along its walls like veins, and even on the hottest summer days, the air around it was icy cold. The older folks always said the Waterhouse had a bad history, but no one really spoke about it openly. They avoided the place the same way people avoid graveyards at night, quietly and without explanation. My mother grew up on the Heath, and even she used to warn us, "Don't get too close to the Waterhouse, just don't." Her voice always trembled when she said that. One summer when I was about 8 years old, the older boys in the family offered to take me and my younger cousins blackberry picking. It was a scorching day, and all of us little kids were being loud and restless. The boys, 16, 17, and 18, were mature enough to handle us, and we all trusted them. We grabbed our buckets and headed out behind my grandmother's house, slipping through the gap in the fence. We walked for a while, laughing, telling silly jokes, and listening to the older boys' spooky stories. They loved scaring us, and we loved pretending not to be scared. But everything changed the moment the Waterhouse came into view. All talking stopped. Every single time, the Waterhouse made us silent. Even the older boys didn't joke around near it. It sat alone in a patch of dry ground, surrounded by weeds and rusted pipes sticking out of the earth. Even the birds refused to fly above it. The reason was a story all of us kids knew by heart, an old tale whispered from one generation to the next. Back in the early 1960s, a ruthless gang of bank robbers had terrorized the area. During one robbery, things went wrong. A 19-year-old clerk was shot dead. 5 people were badly hurt, and one of the gang members was killed in the chaos. The remaining 3 escaped and hid out at the Waterhouse, which was still functioning back then. They stayed there for months, wounded, paranoid, and slowly turning on each other. 6 months later, all 3 were found dead inside the building. No one could explain how they died. Their bodies were badly decomposed, and rumors spread fast. After that, people started reporting strange noises around the Waterhouse. Low murmurs, scratching sounds, and whispers that seemed to come from under the floor. Some locals saw hairy shapes moving between the pipes. A rotten, swamp-like smell hung permanently around the building. By the late 70s, a number of homeless people died mysteriously near the area. Nothing connected the deaths to the Waterhouse, but no one stuck around to investigate. That was the place we had to walk past to get to the blackberry fields. We squeezed through a small gap in the second fence, and once we were on the other side, we finally dared to look back. The Waterhouse stood there, dark and lifeless, watching us with its empty windows like eyes. We spent the afternoon picking blackberries with other neighborhood kids. We splashed in the shallow river, ate more berries than we collected, and enjoyed the fading summer light until the sky started turning orange. It was the perfect day. The walk back, however, was different, quieter, heavier. As we reached the fence again, the air suddenly felt thick, like the air before a thunderstorm. The youngest of the older boys lifted me out of my wheelchair so the others could pass it over the fence. The other kids crossed quickly, but the boys kept glancing toward the Waterhouse. That's when the jokester, the one who always teased us, froze in place. "I saw something move back there," he whispered. We all stared at him. His face wasn't playful, it was pale. B asked, "Are you messing with us?" A didn't even blink. No, something moved. Before anyone could stop him, A stepped toward the Waterhouse. He took 3 steps, then 4. Then a scream tore through the quiet evening, a scream of pure terror. He stumbled backwards, tripping over the dry grass, clawing at the air as if something was chasing him. The older boys grabbed him, and in that second we saw his face, drained of color, shaking violently. "What did you see?" B shouted. I couldn't speak at first. His breath came out in broken gasps. Then, trembling, he whispered, "Yellow eyes, a hairy face, right behind the wall." Before any of us could understand what that meant, H shouted, "Run!" And we did. He grabbed me, threw me on his shoulders, and bolted. The other boys grabbed the smaller kids and followed. B carried my little wheelchair as he sprinted. We didn't look back. We didn't think. We just ran. Branches slapped our faces. Blackberry thorns tore at our clothes, and the ground shook under our feet. I kept hearing A behind me yelling, "Don't look back! Don't look back!" But I did. And although I didn't see anything chasing us, the smell reached me. That same rotten, swampy smell people had always talked about. Stronger, closer, following us. We didn't stop running until we crossed the fence that led back to the road, back to civilization, back to the lights of the houses. The boys were exhausted, bent over, shaking, trying to breathe. Finally, one of them asked again, "What did you really see?" I pressed his hands over his face. "I'm telling you, it was close. Yellow eyes staring at me, a hairy face. It wasn't a person." We panicked. Some of the younger kids cried. H calmed us down and told us we were safe now. When we reached home, our mothers noticed immediately that we looked terrified and filthy. H lied and said we were startled by a drunk man hiding in the bushes, searching for lost golf balls, a common thing around the Heath. They believed it, but none of us slept well that night. We never told the adults the truth, and for years afterward, none of us dared go near the Waterhouse again. Not because of the legend, or the stories, or the rumors, but because we knew something was there. Something real, something watching. And those yellow eyes, I still see them when I close my own.